And the district game that we were really interested in, Smith County outlasted York 35-21. We're joined by Gary Clark, who is the play-by-play voice for the York Dragons on WDEB in Jamestown. Gary, did I get that score right? 35-21?
Yeah, that was the final score was 35-21 York. Well, it wasn't actually that close. I mean, it was. We took a pretty good beat, and I'm kind of surprised Roger Goodell didn't step in somewhere.
Good thing you wasn't in an elevator because it had been taped, right?
That's the truth.
All right. Gary, you guys, you tacked on a couple of late touchdowns, I think. By the time I quit listening, it was already 35-7. Talk about the fourth quarter rally right there.
Well, the fourth quarter, of course, Smith County brought in some of the younger kids. York brought in some of their younger kids. So it was good. It was a couple of good drives by York to wrap up what was a nightmare of a ball game. You knew when the opening play, York kicked off and they ran it back for a touchdown, the opening play, that it was going to be one of those nights to forget.
Yeah, that's always a precursor for bad things. Gary Clark joins us as Dennis Weaver, Josh Peterson here on the Friday Night Thunder Scoreboard Show.
Gary, talk a little bit about maybe some of the players that stood out for York tonight. Late in the game, obviously, you had some younger guys able to put in a couple touchdowns. Talk about what happened late in the game.
Well, late in the game, Mason Cravens come on and played really well. He had a couple of big plays. Brian Crabtree had a couple of good runs. He also got a good night from E.J. Wright. E.J. had a big night running the football. He was just carrying people, but Smith County was just way too fast for York. They were too quick for York. York couldn't get to the outside, kept trying to cut back in, and they just able to corral them. I mean, they were on them like a bunch of fat kids at a cake factory.
That's good stuff. Next week, what's up for the Dragons next week?
Well, next week, I'm sure it's going to be another homecoming game. We've seen more Queens this year than I've ever seen, but we're probably going to get homecoming again next week. We go to Cumberland County, and we take on the Jets, and we'll see what we can do with a school that's a couple divisions bigger than us.
All right. Gary, good luck in that. Have fun, and we'll talk to you next week, my friend.
All right, see you, Dennis.
All righty. That is Gary Clark, WDEB.